Last time on Race to the Moon. Actually, I could just run another P2P tunnel on that same line that's running through here and just have a second P2P. That would work. That would work well. Into there. You get out of my way. And run the ME line back here. To that should theoretically be functioning. That's fine. Are you an ME terminal? Yes! Ha 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 ha! Welcome back, my friends. This is Craig, and we're here with episode 26 of Race to the Moon Season 2. Today, I just noticed my oxygen was low. Today, I think we are going to try to focus a little bit on some applied Energistics automation and auto-crafting. I've set up a few things, changed a few things around in here. Kind of getting started, seeing how things are going to lay out in here. This is going to be where a vast majority of our auto-crafting stuff happens. I built this ME interface terminal, and what this does, like for our molecular assembler, we have all 5 of these ME interfaces. I've brought over the crystal growth chamber, and I attached a ME interface to that. I have an ME interface over here attached to a new pulverizer that I made specifically for making quartz dust and fluix dust and stuff like that. And this ME interface, the interface terminal, is really nice because it will... Oh, okay. So this is the ME interface for the crystal growth chamber, this is the interface for the assembler, and this is the interface for the pulverizer. So I can access all of the ME interfaces that are around the base without having to walk around the base, which is really nice. And then in here are all the different patterns that I've created. For example, Certus quartz crystals. So here's the pattern I created. If I hold shift, it'll show you what it creates. And if you put your mouse over it, I don't know why I'm pointing at the screen like you're going to see my finger. It'll show you the recipe there. The one pure Certus quartz crystal is created with one Certus quartz seed. And then I also have the seeds set up in there where the dust with sand will make 2 seeds. And then I also have the pulverizer set up to make the dust. So if I come over here and say I want a pure... let's say a pure Certus quartz crystal. Let's take these out of here. Get out of there. Alright, and I want to craft. So let's say I want to make 2. Now, I was having issues with this earlier, so let's see if it was able to fix it, because I haven't checked it yet. But I've got no dust, or I've got some dust in there so I can make some seeds. So it's going to automatically craft 2 seeds, put them in the growth chamber, and then grow 2 crystals. So start. And we should see there's some crystals in there. Or some seeds in there that are growing slowly but surely, and it's out of power. Okay, that was another issue I was having, was getting power to this thing. It's supposed to gain power. Oh no, I see what happened. I'm a derp. That is all. I'm a derp. Let's get rid of this and put in, no, not you. Get rid of you, you, and then you. That should provide power. No, why are you not? Does not have power going through it. Okay. Let's try this again. Put you back. Get rid of you. Where is my fiber? One of these combinations will work. Or not. Why are you not drawing power? fast. I might need to put... No, that shouldn't need... I may need to rethink this system, but that's okay. That's okay. I can come back to that. That's not the goal of today. So I'm going to need some interfaces. So I have 2 already. I'm going to need 6 more, which I have everything. If I didn't have something... Oh, it's going to need to make some... There. Interface. It thinks it can make it, but it doesn't realize that it's not possible at the moment. Okay, so everything in here is available. If it wasn't available, it would mark off as red, and you would have to fix whatever you would need to fix to get it to work. As you can see right now with my Annihilation cores and Formation cores, I have 1 available and 2 available, but I've actually already taught it how to create both of those, so it will know how to do that. So I can start, and we should see some interfaces. Boom, boom, boom. 6. Done. 8 interfaces. Haha. So we're going to go over here. Doo-doo. And oh, by the way, I decorated the room a little bit. Sorry, I forgot you haven't seen this yet. So I went with like I guess techno theme, and we've got some like processors and stuff on the floor, and some of them are on, some of them are off. It's all decorative. It's all decorative. I got to figure out lighting yet, get rid of some of these torches. I don't have oxygen in here either. So that'll be something I have to fix. But let's get these out of here. These vents, I'll have to move those. And we'll do interface, 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 interface. And this will allow us to interact with each one of these individually. And I'm going to have to take out this row as well, because I need access to the top of them. For reasons that I shall show you. Whoop, that wasn't what I wanted to do. I'm a professional. Okay, so if you click on the top of these with a wrench, not shift clicking, just regular clicking. Now we get arrows. And these arrows are just demonstrating direction in which it wants to interact. So why it's important to have these, it means it only wants to interact with the block directly below it, which is why we have the arrow pointing down. That way it's not going to interact with this one, it's not going to interact with that one, it's only going to interact with the compressor. Okay? Step 1. So what these are going to do is actually input items into the compressor. Now, one thing I haven't tested is what happens. Let's just grab some iron. I honestly don't know what happens if you put in, because these are kind of like a recipe. Like, if I just put that in there, it's not going to do anything. I've got to get it to do that. So I've got to figure that out. That may be an issue. We'll see. It may be smart enough. I doubt it. Yeah, let me test that real quick in creative before we go through all this. I'll be right back. Okay, so it does kind of work. I noticed one thing that was happening. It would do stacks like this, which was weird, where it wasn't balanced. So that may cause some issue, but it does work. So I'm going to probably do some research on how to clean it up and maybe get it to work a little bit better off camera. But right now it technically will function properly. So what we're going to do to hook this up. So as you know, the cables will only house 8 channels, and each one of these ME interfaces is a channel. So there's 8 channels right there. And then I'm also going to have an import bus on the bottom to pull the items out that are created. So there's going to be another 8 import buses on the bottom. So there's 16 channels right there, 17 for the crafting terminal. And this line right here can only house 8. And if you remember, it also is hooked up to over there. It's this same line back here. So there's also 2 channels, 3 channels back here. So there's 4 already, including the interface. And I need another 16. So what we're going to have to do is make a ME dense cable. Or I have an even better idea. Mod applied Energistics. I'm going to show you a little trick that we can do. We're going to want another bollocks. What is it called? A controller. Another controller. So let's make that. I should have the required equipment. What am I missing? The diamond engineering processor. Really? Wow. Okay. I don't have any of this stuff automatically done yet. So let me... I brought all these over. Inscriber. Alright, let me get these set up. Oh, well that brings power through. Let me get these set up and I will be right back. Okay, so I have some more of those cooking away, but I got another ME controller. I wonder why that just now gave me the the achievement for that. And let's do another ME interface. And what I'm going to do is make a subnetwork. And then we're going to want a storage bus. Do we have a storage bus? ME storage bus. I know I'm going to need a sticky piston because I don't have any. Boom. ME storage bus. Did that just take my interface? It did. Jerk. Craft me another interface, please. Thank you. Okay. We're still going to need dense cable. Don't get me wrong. We still have got 16... Well, maybe. But watch what I'm going to do here. So, get rid of that. Break that down. Oh, let's get over to the overworld real quick, because there is something that I do need. If I'm building a separate network, I need separate power. Ooh, I'm not on the moon. I can't jump like that anymore. Moonbase. I had another power acceptor set left over. Where did that go? There it is. Energy acceptor. Okay. So I'm going to put the energy acceptor... I don't want to break my P2P. Let's do the energy acceptor here. That there. That should kick on. And... no, I don't want that because that's going to be naughty and break. Okay. I want to do... where's my interface? Yep. I'm stuck. And a storage bus. And it didn't break. Recursive networking. Yes. Let's see if we can click on this and see what it tells me. Place an interface on a storage bus. What that does is a sub-network. So now, this line still has the same number. It now has 3. The 3... stop bouncing. It has the 3 lines, the 3 channels being used from over there. the fourth for the storage bus. So there's still 4 channels being used here into this ME interface. The interface is part of this new network completely. So this counts, the storage bus counts this entire new network as a single inventory that you can pull from. So we have a completely new network that we can utilize for channels, and we don't need to run dense cable all the way over. It saves us a whole lot on cabling and management and stuff like that. We can start fresh. So that makes it kind of nice. Now it's just a matter of hooking all the ME interfaces and all the import buses onto the bottom, putting in all of my patterns, which we can go do that real quick. So we've got my pattern terminal here. Get out of there. So I want iron. You can go there. You can go there. And we are on processing pattern, which is what you need if it's crafting. It'll go into the molecular assembler, and you can see 2 iron makes a weighted pressure plate. That's not what we want. We want compressed iron. So we make that. We have our pattern for compressed iron. And we're also going to need one more thing. Crafting card. Okay. And what this is going to do, we put the crafting card in there. And now this will craft whenever this requests items. So now when we put this in here, and I'm trying to think of a way we can see this. We should be able to see it in here. Oh no, this is only going to show me this system. So I might have to readjust that one, but that's okay. But compressed iron. Okay, that'll have to figure out and report back to you next episode with the solution. I apologize for that. But anyway, rest assured, this will work. I've done this in the past. It's just been a very, very long time. Very long time. Stuck again. So that is going to be that, and we can request all of our compressed items, and I'm going to do the same thing for the refinery, or not for the refinery, for the circuit fabricators. And then I need 3 more machines that I can stick in here that are Galacticraft related, to just kind of even everything out and fill in that hole in the floor so I can finally pressurize the oxygen in here. I kind of want to show you the mess that was getting all of this hooked up. For example, the pure crystals, right? So I have this interface back here, and this interface is pointing into the compressor, or to the pulverizer, and it makes the fluix dusts, or the different forms of dusts. So that will export crystal. Meteor landed. That will export the different types of crystals into the pulverizer, and then underneath I have it exporting back through a ME conduit back into the interface to go into the system, because thermal expansion machines will automatically output to whatever side you select, which is nice. Then from there I have it going to the molecular assembler where it creates the seeds, and then the seeds get put in through the ME interface into the crystal growth chamber, and then that gets imported via this import bus back into the system. So it requires both of the... Oh, I lost that block. I hate it when that happens. Darn it. Oh. That'll do for now. So it requires both the interface to import and then the import bus to put it back into the system. What else did I put in here that was kind of wonky? Oh, the ME interface. Let me show you that real quick. So the interface requires the formation core and the annihilation core, right? which requires the Certus Quartz crystals, which I have the recipe set up for the pure form, which is why I needed to make the pure crystal recipe, and the Fluix dust recipe, because I need both of those. And the Annihilation Core, similarly, but with the nether. And then it also, I have it using, is it regular glass? Yeah, that one's just regular glass. I also have the encoded patterns in here. So I had to set up the recipe for the formation and annihilation cores, which is why I had to do the pure crystal and the Fluix dust. The encoded pattern requires quartz glass, so I had to do a recipe for the quartz glass, which also requires nether quartz dust, which is why I have the nether quartz dust. So you can see if you want to start auto-crafting more and more complex things. Let's do one for a piston. We want crafting. Boom. Okay, so I don't have that form of wood, the fossil and archaeology wood. I gotta remember to use this one. So we have a pattern for a piston. Boom. And then we also want to do a pattern for a sticky piston. So I want to wait for the slime ball to come around. Oh, we have blood too. Okay, it's automatically going to do slime. So now we have a pattern for sticky piston. And we're going to put these into one of the ME interfaces for the molecular assembler and piston, because we have no sticky pistons. Let's make 3 of them. We have 3 slime balls. We have 3 pistons. We're going to craft 3 sticky pistons. Start. Boom, boom, boom. Done. Now another thing that we can do, let's make some of these. The molecular assembler can be sped up, and it's actually a good idea to speed it up because it goes a little bit slow. So now, if we wanted to make some pistons, if you could type, let's take out the regular pistons, and let's make 10. Do we have all the stuff? We have all the stuff. Start. Going much faster with just 2 acceleration cards. Boom. 10. Done. Love it. But you can see how very quickly you'll start racking up a large number of patterns, because to make the piston, for example, requires oakwood planks. It doesn't know how to make oakwood planks at all. So we've got to teach it how to make oakwood planks. And it'll only make it with oak. So if we do that, it's going to make 4. Boom. So now if we request pistons and we're out of planks, not a problem. It can request and make its own planks. Piston slime ball. So slime balls could be an issue. But yeah, you've got to tell it to create every individual item for what you want to create. So you can see this will fill up quickly, these interfaces. We've only got 5 interfaces there, and they've got 9 slots each, so that's 45 items we can craft. And yeah, when you start getting into higher level items, like what do we say we wanted to do? No, not a spatial pylon, that was a terrible example. Spatial IO port, right? Okay, so we need all that. We need the engineering processor, which we can automate. We need the IO port, which we need all those. And then we need 2 ME drives, which we need all that. So each one of those items will have to have an individual crafting recipe somewhere in the network. So if it's crafting, or if it's pulverizing or smelting or something like that. I'll have some stoves set up specifically for applied energistics, kind of like with this pulverizer. I don't like these automated ones that I have set up. Why do I have a capacitor in one and not the other? The stuff that I have for ore processing, I don't like that set up with my applied energistics automation, just because things tend to get in the way, and that's no good, and nobody wants that. So I tend to separate them, and I'm going to clean this up, and I will finish automating this side here with the compressed stuff for Galacticraft, And then we'll also probably set up a crafting thing similar to that over here, specifically for Galacticraft stuff, so the fins and the boosters and all of that. And we'll kind of keep that separate, but it'll still be accessible over there. So anyway, sorry, this has been kind of a broken up, rambly episode. I apologize for that. But we'll see you guys in the next one. Have a good one. Later.